You've seen him before. The man who talks a lot but says nothing. The man who walks into a room and somehow makes everything about him, yet nobody truly respects him. He thinks he's confident. He thinks he's strong. He thinks he's wise. But his own tongue is quietly destroying him. Not because he's poor, not because he's unlucky, not because life is unfair, but because of the words that keep slipping out of his mouth. Words that leak his power, words that expose his fear, words that silently erase his respect. Meanwhile, there's another kind of man. He doesn't need to shout to be heard. He doesn't brag to be seen. He doesn't defend himself every 5 seconds. He walks into the same room and suddenly people sit up just a little straighter. They're not afraid of him. They're not obsessed with him, but they feel something. Weight. His words have weight. His silence has weight. His presence has weight. That's the difference between a stupid man and a stoic man, between noise and wisdom, between ego and discipline. Today on Scrolls of Mind, we're going to expose 5 things a stupid man always says and how to replace them with the calm, disciplined mindset of a stoic warrior. If you listen carefully and you're honest with yourself, this might hurt a little, but that's good. Pain is feedback, and Stoic philosophy was never about comfort, it's about transformation. Before we dive into the 5 phrases, pause for a second and ask yourself a simple question. Do I want to be liked by everyone or respected by myself? Because what you say reveals who you really serve, your ego or your growth. If you're ready to stop leaking power with your words, hit like, subscribe to Scrolls of Mind, and comment below, I choose wisdom over noise. Now let's begin. 1. I already know that. You've heard him before. You try to share something that helped you, a lesson, a book, a strategy. Maybe you mention Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, or Epictetus, and he cuts you off with 3 little words. I already know that. He says it with that smug little nod, as if he's above the lesson, as if knowing the idea once in his life somehow means he has mastered it. But watch his actions. He knows discipline, but he can't wake up on time. He knows he should control his emotions, but he still explodes in anger over small things. He knows he should take responsibility, but he still blames everyone else. He doesn't know, he remembers. And memory without application is just recycled noise. This is the first mark of a stupid man. He confuses information with transformation. He worships the feeling of knowing, not the pain of changing. The Stoics saw this centuries ago. Epictetus warned that you can't learn what you think you already know. The moment you say, I already know that, your mind shuts the door. No new insight can enter, no deeper understanding can form, no growth can happen. A wise man listens even when he's heard it before. Why? Because he knows repetition isn't an insult, it's training. Imagine 2 men in the gym. One says, I already know how to do push-ups, and walks out. The other says, I know push-ups, but I still do them every day. Who will get stronger? Knowing isn't power. Using what you know is power. Wisdom is not a trophy you keep on a shelf, it's a muscle you train with discomfort, repetition, and humility. So, what does a Stoic man say instead of, I already know that? He asks, what am I still missing? He asks, how can I apply this more deeply? He asks, if I truly know this, why am I not living it? He doesn't defend his knowledge, he tests it against his life. If you want to stop sounding like a stupid man, start acting like a student again. When someone shares a lesson, don't rush to prove you've heard it. Lean in, listen, look for the one angle you never noticed before. You can read 100 quotes from Marcus Aurelius and still be fragile. You can recite Epictetus and still be ruled by your emotions. You can talk about Stoic philosophy and still be the weakest man in the room. So next time your mind whispers, I already know this, answer with a new phrase. I might know it, but do I live it? That single question turns you from a performer into a practitioner, and slowly, your words stop being decoration and start being proof. 2. It's not my fault. Picture this. A man sits in the ruins of his own decisions. He's broke, his relationship is a mess, he hates his job, his body is falling apart. Ask him what happened, and listen carefully. It's not my fault. His ex was toxic, his parents didn't support him, the system is unfair, his boss is an idiot, the economy is bad. He has a long list of villains and almost no mirrors. Now, here's the dark truth. In the short term, this feels good. Blame is emotional Novocaine. It's not my fault numbs the sting of failure. It lets him feel like a victim of life instead of a participant in it. But every time he says those words, he gives away something sacred: sovereignty. Responsibility isn't about taking the blame for everything that's happened to you. It's about claiming the power to respond to it. The Stoics understood this deeply. When Epictetus says it's not what happens, but how you respond that matters, he isn't making a motivational quote. He's giving you the only way out of helplessness. Life is unfair. People betray you, circumstances blindside you. That's real, that's true. But it's not my fault keeps you chained to the event instead of stepping into the lesson. Watch what happens when a man makes this his favorite sentence. He becomes passive. He stops trying. He waits for someone to rescue him or apologize. His life becomes a waiting room instead of a battlefield. A stupid man thinks responsibility is guilt. A Stoic man sees responsibility as freedom. The moment you say, I didn't choose this, but I choose my response, the game changes. You are no longer a leaf in the wind, you're the one setting the sails. A man who always says, it's not my fault, never gets better. A man who asks, what can I do now, becomes dangerous in the best way. Dangerous because nothing can fully break him. Bad luck can hit him, but it can't define him. Unfairness can wound him, but it can't silence him. So if you catch yourself saying, it's not my fault, stop. Take a breath and ask 3 Stoic questions instead. What part of this is in my control? What did I ignore, avoid, or tolerate that led me here? What can I learn that makes me stronger the next time this happens?
You don't say this to shame yourself. You say it to sharpen yourself. When Marcus Aurelius reflected at night, he didn't write pages of excuses. He reviewed his own failures, not to punish himself, but to train his character. The man who says, it's my responsibility, is the only man who can say, I can change this. Let others cling to, it's not my fault. Let them trade their power for pity. You are building something else, inner authority. And inner authority is one of the rarest forms of respect in this world. 3. I don't care what anyone thinks. On the surface, it sounds strong, doesn't it? I don't care what anyone thinks. It's painted all over social media as the ultimate badge of confidence. But look closer. Who usually says this the loudest? The man who is already drowning in opinions. The man who has been judged, rejected, or laughed at, and now wears apathy like armor. He doesn't say, I don't care what anyone thinks because he's free. He says it because he's exhausted. It's not strength, it's self-defense. There's a difference between not being controlled by opinions and pretending they don't matter at all. A stupid man hears one criticism and either collapses or explodes. He claims he doesn't care, but his whole mood shifts when someone disrespects him online. He checks likes, comments, replies. He posts, I don't care, after scrolling for validation. That's not stoicism. That's fragility wearing a fake mask of toughness. Stoic philosophy never taught you to ignore all opinions. Marcus Aurelius didn't say everyone else is irrelevant. Instead, he said, If something is not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Notice the standard, not do people like this, but is this right and is this true? The Stoic man does care what some people think, but he chooses whose mind he respects. The honest mentor, the wise friend, the person who lives by virtue, not popularity. A man who truly doesn't care at all what anyone thinks is no longer human. You are wired for connection, feedback, and social reality. The goal is not apathy, it's discernment. So when a stupid man says, "I don't care what anyone thinks," what he really means is, "I care so much that it hurts, so I'm pretending not to." The stronger approach is quiet. You don't announce, "I don't care." You simply act according to your principles and let people react however they want. The more you scream that you don't care, the more obvious it is that you do. The more you live your values without shouting them, the more respect you quietly collect. So what does a Stoic man say instead? He doesn't need a slogan. His actions speak it. He asks himself, is this aligned with my character? Would I respect myself for doing this, even if no one ever sees it? Am I chasing approval or living by virtue? Real freedom is not about silencing the world. It's about not being ruled by its noise. When someone insults him, a Stoic man doesn't crumble and doesn't overcompensate. He checks, is it true? If yes, he adjusts. If no, he releases it. No drama, no performance, just internal sovereignty. There's a line between caring and craving. Caring builds connection. Craving destroys your self-respect. Don't strive to be the man who doesn't care at all. Be the man who cares correctly, deeply about his integrity, carefully about his circle, and almost nothing about strangers' temporary opinions. That's not apathy, that's mastery. 4. That's just how I am. These words sound innocent, but they are one of the most dangerous phrases a man can repeat. That's just how I am. On the surface, it looks like self-acceptance. Look deeper, and you'll see something else. Surrender. The man who always says this has stopped growing. He's chosen the comfort of a fixed identity over the discomfort of change. I'm just impatient. I'm just bad with money. I'm just emotional. I'm just not disciplined. He believes he's describing himself. In reality, he's sentencing himself. The Stoics would never have grown into who they became if they believed personality was a prison. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten and crippled, yet became a teacher of emperors. Marcus Aurelius didn't say, "I'm just an emperor," and retire into luxury. He wrestled with his own anger, grief, and pride on the page in his meditations. They didn't say, "That's just how I am." They said, "This is who I am today. Who shall I become tomorrow?" Stoic philosophy is not about denying your nature. It's about refining it. You're not a stone. You are clay. Your habits, choices, and standards are shaping you every single day. A stupid man uses "that's just how I am" to escape responsibility. He uses his personality as an excuse to stay small. A Stoic man uses self-awareness as a starting point, not an end point. He looks at his flaws without flinching, but he doesn't build a throne for them. If you keep saying, "That's just how I am," you're secretly admitting another sentence. I refuse to change. And nothing rots a man's potential faster than pride in his own stagnation. So what do you say instead?
I'm not proud of this trait, but I can train it. I've been like this for years, but I'm not going to die like this. This is how I've been acting. It's not who I'm required to remain. Stoic warriors do small acts of rebellion against their weaker nature every single day. If you're impatient, You practice waiting a little longer before reacting. If you're explosive, you teach yourself to pause and breathe before speaking. If you're lazy, you practice doing the thing you don't feel like doing, especially when nobody's watching. This is voluntary hardship. Seneca wrote about choosing discomfort to stay sharp. The modern world tells you to worship your type and your sign. Stoic philosophy tells you to worship your effort. You are not your label. You are your training. The stupid man defends his flaws as his authentic self. The Stoic man refines his flaws into discipline, patience, and strength. The oak tree doesn't apologize for outgrowing the seed. Neither should you. 5. I'll do it later. Quiet, harmless, familiar. I'll do it later. If "that's just how I am" kills your growth, "I'll do it later" kills your time. This phrase looks soft, but it has buried more dreams than failure ever has. It's not dramatic, it doesn't make headlines, but it silently takes everything you could have been and trades it for comfort. The man who always says, "I'll do it later," is living in a fantasy calendar. He believes there's always more time to fix his body, more time to start that business, more time to apologize, more time to read, to study Stoic philosophy, to build self-respect. But time doesn't care what he believes, it just moves. Stoic thinkers like Seneca warned that while we delay, life moves past us. Not in theory, in reality. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years. And the man who will do it later wakes up one day and realizes something horrifying. Later never existed. It was always now or never. Procrastination is not laziness. It's a secret agreement with your weaker self. I know what I should do, I just don't respect myself enough to do it today. A stupid man is addicted to the idea of his future self. He imagines the disciplined version of himself, the future warrior, the future Stoic. He gets high on imagining it, so high that he never actually becomes it. He talks about his goals loudly. He says, "One day I'll be unstoppable." But ask him what he did today, and there is silence. The Stoic man flips the script. He suspects that his mind is lying to him whenever it promises comfort first and effort later. So he trains a different sentence. I'll do it now. Not to burn out, not to be perfect, just to prove to himself that his actions still belong to him. When Marcus Aurelius wrote about getting out of bed, he didn't say, "I'll get up when I feel ready." He reminded himself that he was born to do his work as a human being, not to lie down like a well-fed animal. You don't fix procrastination with motivation. You fix it with movement. Tiny, unimpressive, inconvenient movement. Send the message now. Do the workout now. Read the page now. Apologize now. Write the plan now. You don't have to fix your whole life tonight, but you must break the spell of later. Every time you choose now instead of later, you recover a piece of your self-respect. You prove to your own nervous system, when I say I'll do something, I move. That's how a Stoic warrior is built. Not in dramatic, cinematic moments, but in the boring, invisible decisions no one sees. I'll do it later is how a stupid man dies with potential still locked inside him. I'll do it now is how a wise man slowly becomes what he once only admired. Now, take a breath. We've just walked through 5 phrases a stupid man always says. I already know that. It's not my fault. I don't care what anyone thinks. That's just how I am. And I'll do it later. At first, they feel like protection. They protect his ego, his comfort, his pride, his illusions. But listen closely, and you'll hear what they're really doing. They are protecting his weakness. Your words are not just sounds, they're signals.
Every sentence you repeat trains your mind in a direction, towards responsibility or blame, towards growth or stagnation, towards respect or resentment. A stupid man speaks to defend his ego. A stoic man speaks to develop his mind. The world doesn't need more loud opinions. It needs more men whose words are backed by discipline, responsibility, and calm strength. So from this day forward, watch your tongue like a warrior watches his sword. Don't swing it wildly. Don't use it to impress strangers. Use it to tell the truth. Use it to commit to action. Use it to align your life with what you claim to believe. If this message hits you, don't say, "I already know this." Don't say, "I'll change later." Prove it. Comment below, "I speak with wisdom." Then, choose one phrase you're going to remove from your life starting today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because as Stoic philosophy keeps reminding us, you don't control how long you live, but you do control how honestly you speak, how deeply you grow, and how much respect you show yourself while you still have time. And that is how a man stops sounding stupid and starts becoming unshakable.